Welcome everybody. Let's get started. We'll get to it. All right. Today, a little more serious today because we're going to be covering some things that are very difficult for people that are beginning to stabilize their life. I was saying earlier that sometimes people get in the habit of using alcohol or drugs, marijuana, pills, what have you, and they do it for years, seemingly without any major consequences. It just seems to be part of life. You know, on the weekends I drink or I smoke weed every couple other days for sleep, for this, for stress, or I only take pills every once in a while when this is happening or that happening. And you don't think a whole lot of it, you know, because you're younger, your body's more resilient, you don't outwardly see the symptoms. They're kind of more asymptomatic. That doesn't mean they're not happening. But eventually what happens is with consistent use of anything, it becomes problematic because sooner or later you're going to run into some trouble, whether it be a legal issue, whether it be an issue with a significant other, family members, work, usually work, or legal issues, DUIs, what have you. And then you say, well, not a big deal. I'll quit because you have to for treatment or ultimatums and what have you. So you're like, hey, no big deal. If I need to quit for a couple months, not an issue. And then what I find is probably about 30 or 40% of the patients I see in the treatment programs, they realize, holy crap, maybe there's something more to this because they have a really hard time stopping. And they thought for sure they weren't addicted to it. There was no physical issues with it until they try to quit. It's easy to say you don't have a problem with drugs and alcohol until you have to quit for longer than 3 or 4 days. So usually after about week 1, 10 days, they start squirming. They start to have real trouble, especially if they're understanding that if they fail a drug screen or fail out of treatment, they're going to lose their spouse, their children. They're going to go to jail, violation of probation. They're going to lose their license. They're going to have issues with the DUI. They're going to lose their job, employee assistance. All kinds of issues result from that. So here's what I want to help with. I want to help with how does one get stable if they come to realize maybe I did have a problem. Maybe I was abusing alcohol to the point where now I'm kind of physically dependent on it. And when I stop, I'm having real symptoms of it. What are some of the symptoms? And I'm not talking about full-blown addiction. I'm talking about abusing alcohol for years and years to the point where you're on the cusp of becoming addicted to it. And or what are the symptoms that occur